called me. I moved. I was going to pick that day. But then reaching there, then I decided, no, I just come here. One city. I just felt I should not use that. So that is why I'm sure that what we are going to share today is meant to build us as Christians. One spirit. So the hidden treasure, there are treasures of God. I know you know what treasures are. Very precious things, very important things. So there are those that are hidden that not everyone can access. One spirit. But there are those treasures that are hidden. So because they are hidden, they could be important, but they are hidden, meaning we cannot access them. Or they are there, but we are not aware that they are there. But today, I just want to remind us of one precious hidden treasure in our lives as Christians. Bwana asifiwe. We know of the power in the name of God, Word of God, and the blood of God. Those three: the blood of Jesus, the Word of God, and the name. That not everything that is written here qualifies to be the Word of God unless you do something. Bwana asifiwe. There is something that will make everything that is in here be the Word of God. Praise the name of the Lord. All these are writings. That is what Revelation was getting yesterday. Everything in this Bible are writings. And these writings, if we don't view them from the point that I'm going to speak about, they are just that writings that contain information and messages. Bwana asifiwe. But then, how will the writings in this Bible translate into the Word of God? That is when we view them through Jesus Christ. Bwana asifiwe. That is why many times we are told to pray the Word of God. We are praying the Word of God. Now, when we take the Word of God, we view Jesus, we take Jesus to, we take these ones and we view them from Jesus' point of view, then they qualify to be the Word of God. Bwana asifiwe. So I'm saying, without Jesus in everything that is written here, it is but a message or information, but it is not the complete Word of God. Bwana asifiwe. Praise the name of the Lord. So I want us to take Jesus to be the Word of God, the hidden treasure in our lives. All of us are saved. I want to believe so. And the fact that we are saying you did not save your son. And we understand from the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 12 that there is no name given for us to get salvation except the name of Jesus. So we're talking about Jesus as being the Word of God. Praise the name of the Lord. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Are we together? And I want us to look at Jesus, the Word of God, the importance of the Word of God in our lives. I know we understand the importance of the name of Jesus, of the name of God. We understand the importance of the blood of Jesus, what it has been able to do for us until this far. Now that you call yourself a Christian, and more of a Christian, you are born again. Praise the name of the Lord. The name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, the name of Jesus, the name of God, the blood of Jesus, and now the Word of God. And that word is so powerful. And as we're going to see that there is power in this word. Many times, we are stuck in some places. We cannot move on. We cannot penetrate because we don't understand that which we are carrying. One of the things that we are carrying, one of the treasures that are hidden within us, that we are not sometimes making good use of, is the Word of God. That is Jesus himself. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Praise the name of the Lord. I don't understand. I can't hear you people. Am I too loud? And to me, too. So, So, Jesus Christ being the Word of God. The Bible says, I'll begin from the book of John. Allow me to go to the book of John chapter 1 from verse 1. I know it's something that we're all used to. In the beginning, there was what? Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. Bwana asifiwe. That in the beginning was the Word. Praise the name of the Lord. And which word was this? Just spoken word or written word. In the beginning was the Word. This Word of God we're going to see is living. It is active from the scriptures that we're going to see. The Word of God, Jesus himself. That in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God himself. We know Jesus as God the Son. Hiyo ni kweli. Sio ni kawaida tunajua kama Christians. So we are seeing that in the beginning was Word. And of course, Jesus was there from the beginning. He is the Word of God. Then when you go to the book of Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Chapter 1 verse 1 and 2 there. Genesis 1 verse 1 and 2. Kama uko pale tutasoma pamoja. Kama uko utasikiza nikisoma. In the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and 2. My version tells me and read. that in the beginning, in this case again, it begins in the beginning, just like John. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And the Spirit of God was doing what? Hovering over the waters. The earth was formless, did not have form, it was total darkness, and the water covered everything. But then the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Then you're going to see the Word of God in the Spirit. When you go to the book of Ephesians, let's just go there please to connect. In the book of Ephesians chapter 6, so that we may connect together. Ephesians chapter 6. Kuna mtu pale tusome sasa. Chapter 6 verse 17 Ephesians. Somebody is there will read for us so that I don't end up reading for myself and doing everything. Oh, brother is there. So read just a minute. We know the armor of God, of course, then just go to that verse. Just read verse 17. Ephesians 6 verse 17. But you can read, the entire book of Ephesians, maybe from verse 10 for yourself later on, the full armor of God. So to some brother, Ephesians 6 verse 17.
Ephesians chapter 6 verse 17 says, "Put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God."
Thank you. Now this is the helmet of salvation. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. So the sword of the Spirit, we understand from that point that the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of who? The word of God. So the Spirit which we are finding, we are getting in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2, that was hovering over the earth in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. Now in Ephesians 6 verse 17, we are told to take on the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Bless the name of the Lord. So it means the Spirit which was hovering in the book of Genesis is the word of God. And then we understand that the word of God in this case we're talking about Jesus himself. Because in the book of John chapter 1, what we read now, chapter 1 from verse 1 there, that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God himself. So I'm just preparing this foundation. I want us to understand that Jesus Christ, now the Word of God, as we take it from the scriptures, might not be fully what it should be. But then I want us to understand that as we read what is written in this book, as we read what is written in the Bible, let us go ahead, let us go beyond each and everyone and see Jesus in each and everyone. If we see Jesus in each and everyone, then that qualifies everything written here to be the Word of God. And the word power is in the Word of God. Praise the name of the Lord. In the book of Psalms chapter 138 verse 2, the Bible says, according to David, it is saying that God has exalted above everything else two things. One, his name, and what? And the Word. What has it been? That above everything else, God has exalted. I've said Psalms 138 verse 2. That God has exalted above everything else two things. One of them, his name. Another thing is word. And this word, from this context, I want to understand, is Jesus who is exalted above everything else. That's why we are told when we pray according to the will of God, when we pray the word of God into our lives, our situations. Take the situation you are in, and Pastor normally encourages us that look, we pray according to the word of God and the will of God concerning whatever situation we are going through. So if you take Jesus Christ, who is highly exalted above all things, the name of Jesus and the word of God. Now when you go to the book of John chapter 14, Jesus is saying that whatever it is, every request we make it in the name of who? In his name. That is the name of Jesus. That's according to the book of John 14. That every prayer item we have, every request we have, every prayer we make it in the name of Jesus. And he is saying it will be answered. So that so that God the Father may be glorified through the Son, who is Jesus Christ. That is how powerful the name of the word of God is. That is Jesus in our lives. Because there is no salvation without Jesus. The point whenever we get saved, it is Jesus Christ. Because we do say when we are getting saved, when we are confessing salvation, that I accepted. We accepted no one else. Like I've said in the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 12, that there is no other name that we have been given for salvation. or under which you can get saved, except the name of Jesus. So it is only Jesus who is exalted according to Psalms 138. It is only Jesus, his name. It is only Jesus Christ, through him, that we get saved. And again, it is very important after salvation. I do compare salvation with a lot of things, especially the plants. When you go there, maybe you go to your shamba there, and then you do your shamba, you prepare your shamba, then you plant the seed. Now this seed, of course, will have to germinate. For the seed to germinate, it requires many things. I believe here everyone has gone through primary 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how they used to call them in science. Now maybe things have changed. Those conditions necessary for a plant to germinate. Huko lower primary huko ama ya huko sama in primary kila mtu anajua. So I don't take salvation to compare it with, of course, the seed of the word of God that is planted in us for us to get saved. That is the word of God. The seed, the word of God is the seed that is planted in us, and as it grows, of course, it germinates. It becomes good soil. That is our heart. And of course, when Jesus gave the example of the soil, you understand what he said? Some seed fell on this ground, others fell on there, some fell here. And the seed that fell on the good soil, that is the seed that was able to germinate, and of course was able to grow big and produce fruits and all that and all that. So the fact that you're born again here, yes, God said that will not be enough. Many people get saved, but then what sustains us in salvation is the word of God, that is Jesus himself. That's why when people get salvation, you get saved, and your salvation has not come direct from Jesus. Bro, there, I understand people get saved, yes, but then who is the Savior? That is very important. If Jesus Christ himself, in the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 12, is your Savior, then your salvation is going to be sustained. There are going to be so many challenges on the way. Many hardships are going to meet. Many discouragement or discouraging things we are going to meet. But if Jesus is the rock of this salvation, then I tell you, however hard things are, you are going to be able to penetrate through and make it through salvation. But if Jesus is not the case, whereby maybe you came to get saved because of some other things, or you're going there because someone says there, or you're going there because someone told you, if you come to Jesus, you're going to get healed. At that point you are saved, then I tell you salvation might not be sustained as such. Because why did you get saved? In this case, Jesus Christ is not the rock of your salvation. That which you needed, if it is healing, that was the rock of your salvation. Because you came to get saved so that you get healed. You came to get saved so that this and that might happen to you. But not because you want Jesus to be everything and foundation in your life. So many Christians, yes, we do, deviate from the path of righteousness because we got saved, yes. But then the foundation of our salvation, who was the rock of that salvation? Jesus being the rock of salvation saves us. And then as Christians, it is our responsibility to build upon this salvation, upon this rock. It's just like this building where we are. You can see how the floor is. Praise the name of the Lord. Can you compare the floor and look at us? Let's just look at the wall. Which one is stronger? If you compare the floor and your wall, gani is stronger? The floor. So what determines the strength of any building is normally the wall, the foundation. That's why you find when police are working, foundation must be done properly. Because it's going to determine how far or how many years this whatever building is going to take. If you want to build one, maybe just a house like this, a house like this, the foundation of such this structure cannot be compared to someone who wants to build a gorofa, a story building. Can the foundation be the same? It cannot be. So if you find someone wants to build a story building, a gorofa, the foundation must be properly done more than what you have here. Bless the name of the Lord. The same thing, if Jesus is really the foundation of your salvation, whatever comes our way, we are able to maneuver through. Because he saved us and is able to sustain us. Because when you are saved through some other thing, maybe yes, you came in the name of Jesus, you confess, get salvation in the name of Jesus. But then back inside, it's not that Jesus was touched you. Then in that case, you have trouble sustaining this salvation. Because if the miracle, like I began by saying, if it's the miracle that has brought you to Christ for you to get saved, a time comes when this miracle, yes, you got healing, or you got healed sometimes back, you're not sick anymore. So what is sustaining in this case? You're not sick. But if Jesus is the rock of your salvation. If Jesus is the foundation, the word of God, that is Jesus, is the foundation of your salvation. He is there in season and out of season. There is no time when Jesus will leave you. And again, if Jesus being the foundation, even if you try to divert, and you divert from the path of righteousness, you find things are so hard and you feel like quitting salvation. Then you just find some strength from Jesus and some. You know, strength that comes from inside. Then you keep on moving. So this one is a hidden treasure. I call it so. It is a hidden treasure. That is the word of God. Hidden treasure in our lives. Because even as we make our prayers, if you pray the will of God, according to the word of God, of course, like what we've seen in the Bible, that prayer is going to be answered. Bless the name of the Lord. So many times as Christians, we have something that is very important, but we fail to use it accordingly. Bwana sifiwe. Unapata mtu anaokoka and sometimes mtu ana backslide. And then even if somebody has gone through that, has been able to backslide. But because if Jesus Christ was the foundation, was the seed of the word of God, the true seed of the word of God fell in the good heart. And then Jesus being the foundation, the rock of this person's salvation, even if this person ameanguka, you'll find sometimes he's able to do what? To come back. But if Jesus was not the rock, was not the foundation, then many times the people who backslide, it is very hard for them to come back. So I count our sons blessed this morning and very much blessed indeed. We have the privilege that there is somebody. If Jesus is actually the rock of our salvation, I want to believe so. And if that's not the case, then we still, I believe we are better placed that after the service, even during this service, we can search our hearts. And it is easy to tell who is the rock of the salvation. It is very easy to tell who is the foundation, who is the rock of the salvation. Because you know how you got saved. Everyone knows. Even if you forget, you can take time and remember what was the situation by then when you got saved. Then you can be able to tell if Jesus really is the rock of your salvation. Bwana sifiwe. Praise the name of the Lord. Now, and the word of God, of course, when you go to the book of, I want us to go to, let's go to the book of Jeremiah 23, verse 29. Yes, someone else is going to read for us. Jeremiah 23, 29. Kuna mtu hapo pale. Read for us. Yes, she's reading. Thank you.
The Bible says, "Is not my word like fire, says the Lord, like a hammer which breaks the rock in pieces."
Thank you. That is the word of God. That is not my word like fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks a rock in pieces. So the word of God in this case is compared with two things. One, fire. Two, a hammer. A hammer that breaks the rock into pieces. So many times that as Christians, of course, we will have to meet rocks. Rocks now represent the challenges, the hardship that you go through in life. But then we have the word of God. Who is Jesus in your life? The rock of your salvation. Now, this is the word of God. God is asking, is not my word like fire and like a hammer that breaks even the rock into pieces? So the hardship that we meet as Christians, the stumbling blocks that we come across as we walk through this journey of salvation. If Jesus, who is the word of God in us, if he is the rock of our salvation, then for sure he is going to break every rock that stands on our way into pieces. So everything, every challenging situation that is meant maybe to bar us from reaching our destiny, to bar us from walking through the journey of salvation successfully. If Jesus is the rock of our salvation, then for sure he's going to break the rock into pieces. It's like a hammer. The word of God is like a hammer. The word of God, Jesus being our lives, it's a hammer that breaks that hardship, that breaks that which makes you, prevents you from moving on to achieve that which God has purposed for us. The word of God is like a fire. And of course, nothing stands before fire. Fire consumes everything. So if Jesus, who is the word of God in us, whenever we meet anything that is meant against us, and Jesus is the word of God in your life, is going to break whatever it is there, anything that represents the rock, into pieces. And after breaking to pieces now, take Jesus' word of God as fire that is going to consume everything. Bless the name of the Lord. So that is the power that we have in Jesus, the word of God, that is like a hammer that breaks even the rock into pieces, and is a fire that consumes everything that is meant against us. Everything that stands against us, then Jesus Christ is able. If it's actually the word of God, Jesus Christ is the rock of your salvation. He is the one who drives and guides you in your salvation war. Then there is nothing that is going to stand before us. Meet a rock, however hard, however strong, however old that rock is, Jesus being in your life, being the word of God, is able to crush it into pieces. And after that, consume it, because the consuming fire. Bwana sifiwe. Kwa pamoja kila mtu. Bwana sifiwe. That is the word of God. It is like fire. It is like a hammer. And then I want us also to go to the book of Hebrew 4. Hebrew 4. Hebrew 4, verse 12 to 13. Kama mtamefika hapo. Hebrew 4 verse 12 and 13.
Hebrews 4, 12, 13. The word says, "For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and spirit, of joints and marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart. And before him no creature is hidden, but all are open and laid bare to the eyes of him with all we have to do."
Thank you. Now we are getting another comparison here about the word of God. That for the word of God is living and active. The word of God is living and active. And as began by saying, we are talking about Jesus Christ being the word of God. So the word of God is living and also active. And what is it able to do? Sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to the division of the soul and the spirit, joints and marrows, judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's side. That the word of God is living and it is active. Bless the name of the Lord. So in this case, the word of God being living, the word of God being active, and then it is sharper than two-edged sword. In this case, the word of God is a weapon. Bwana sifiwe. We can use the word of God as a weapon. Bwana sifiwe. Because it is sharper than two-edged sword. A sword in this case, of course, is a weapon. So the word of God is a weapon. It is sharper than two-edged sword. It cuts even to the division of the spirit, the mind, the soul, the bone, the marrow, and everything else. That is the word of God. It is sharper than two-edged sword. It is a weapon. Bwana sifiwe. In the book of Isaiah 54 verse 17, the Bible says that there is no weapon that is fashioned against us that is able to prosper. That is if we have this weapon. There is no any other weapon that can be able to prosper if you have the weapon that is the word of God, according to the book of Hebrew chapter 4 verse 12 and 13. Bwana sifiwe. Bless the name of the Lord. Amen. That there is no weapon, according to the book of Isaiah, said 54 verse 17, that no weapon fashioned or formed against us can be able to prosper. There is no weapon, be the weapon of sickness. Bwana sifiwe. That could be a weapon against us by the enemy. So no such weapon can be able to prosper if Jesus Christ, the word of God, is a weapon in our lives. Bwana sifiwe. In Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 15, no weapon of sickness fashioned against us, because we know that Jesus is the healer. He is the source of our healing. So anytime we are unwell, then we run to Jesus for healing, because He healed. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 5th book, Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 15, no weapon of sickness fashioned against us can be able to prosper if Jesus is really the word of God and is really the weapon in our line. So I've said Deuteronomy 7:15 and read the Lord will keep you free from every disease. He will not inflict on you the horrible diseases you knew in Egypt, but will inflict them on all who hate you. Bwana asifiwe. That the Lord will keep us free from every disease. That is to mean that, of course, you know, He's the healer. The Lord will keep us free from every form of disease that we knew in Egypt. And this Egypt now could refer to when, before we knew Christ. Bwana asifiwe. Before we knew Christ, that maybe there was a disease that was really disturbing you. Like in my case, I had one. And the minute I got saved, I don't know how it disappeared. I don't remember being prayed for. But the first miracle in my life, that disease disappeared. Ever since those over 10 years and many years down the line, it has never come back. Bwana asifiwe. Actually, there were two. Yeah, I used to have a very, some rashes on this right feet. Here in front, all over, until it turned black, kabisa. But if I were to remove my trouser now to my knee, you cannot compare. You cannot get a difference between the two feet, the two legs. Because that's the first miracle. I used to know kupakwa vitu za wanasema hizo za kienyeji za what and nothing happened. But when I got saved after some time, not long after salvation, that just disappeared. Bwana asifiwe. So that is the disease that I had when I was still in Egypt. The disease that I knew when I was in Egypt, according to this verse. Bwana asifiwe. So there is something, maybe there is something, a disease. Could not be a disease, but something else that can be compared to a disease. Something that used to disturb you before you got born again. Bwana asifiwe. Another thing, something that I never shared with any of my relatives, not even my parents. Yeah, I used to have hii kizunguzungu mbaya. Yaani kizunguzungu nikiamka asubuhi au sometimes nimekaa chini ama nikisimama tu hivi, yani I just see total darkness, alafu nazunguka. I just remember one incident when it happened. I was alone in a house. Ni kama epileptic, wale wana epilepsy. Hiyo unajiangusha bila kujua. So I had that condition. None of my parents until now, they did not know. They have not known because when I got born again, I said now for this, it has to go. I didn't know the songs. I just remember myself nilijikonga kwa ukuta vibaya sana. Because the next thing nikasikia tu and then kwa floor na niko peke yangu. Then after some times when I came back my senses, then I just found myself really huko. But normally I used to feel the same. Nasikia kizunguzungu tena. Nasikia tu yani giza tu nazunguka all over na kuanguka. So that is another thing I would say, a disease that I used to know when I was in Egypt. Bwana asifiwe. So there are things, no weapon, when you take the word of God as the weapon, it is sharper than a two-edged sword. It is a weapon in our lives that no other weapon, like Isaiah is saying in Proverbs 17, that can be able to prosper. No weapon that can be able to prosper. If Jesus, the word of God, we take it as a weapon, a sure weapon in our lives. Bwana asifiwe. And of course, we've seen from the same book we have read in the book of Ephesians 6 from verse 17 there, the helmet of salvation and the Spirit, which is the word of God. Bwana asifiwe. No, suffering, every form of sickness, any weapon of suffering. Jesus suffered, of course. Read the book of Isaiah 53. We get the suffering servant. How, describing the suffering of Jesus Christ. When Jesus was able to suffer on your behalf, on my behalf. So there is no amount of suffering that can be able, to detach us from the love of God. Like the Bible says that what can separate us from the love of God? Is it nakedness? Is it lack of food? Is it sicknesses? What is it that can be able to separate us from the love of God? The answer is nothing. Bwana asifiwe. Bless the name of the Lord. Now, there is no weapon. If Jesus be the weapon of our lives, of course, is living and active, sharper than two-edged sword. If Jesus be the weapon in our life, no other weapon the enemy can use against you that can prosper. In the book of Deuteronomy, again, verse 8, chapter 18. Deuteronomy 8:18. My Bible tells me something. Are we there? No weapon, not even the weapon of poverty. Yeah. The situation you are in, maybe you don't have that which you need. You have not reached where you should be or where you desire to be. But then it just but a circumstance. It's not a permanent solution. A permanent state of your life. Where you are now, the things that you don't have, that is not your destiny. It is not our destiny. We are just moving towards there. Bwana asifiwe. Bless the name of the Lord. We are on the journey towards where God had predestined for us. The condition we are in, the situation we are in, whatever it is we're going through, it cannot describe our tomorrow. Because God has the best in store for us. What we're going through today cannot be used to, to foresee what awaits us in the future. Now, Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant which He swore to your forefathers, as it is today. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Are we together in that case? It is God who gives us the ability to produce what? Wealth. In this case, if the enemy has planned maybe poverty, that is a weapon that the enemy has fashioned against us. Then using the word of God, the weapon of the word of God, saying there is no such weapon of poverty that the enemy has planned for you that will succeed. Because again, from that text again we can understand that, as Christians, we cannot just sit down and wait for God, to release wealth, riches, and everything we need from heaven. He gives us the ability. Each and every one of us, every child of God, you have the ability. There is something you can do. And through that which you can do, God can bring wealth, riches, and all the good things that can make your life better and other people's lives better as well. So we don't just need to sit down in your car, I'm waiting for God to release manna and everything from heaven. No. You have an ability. As a Christian, it is God who gives us the ability. Don't you have ability? Is there something you can do with your hands, with your understanding, with your knowledge? Is there something you can do? Business, if you're employed, whatever it is. Hata farming, if you have maybe some piece of land, hata kama una a big piece of land, but can have a structure for vitu kama kuku, vitu kama hizo. There is each and everyone has an ability. There is no child of God who does not have an ability. It's only that we fail to realize or to recognize the ability that is in us. Are we together? That it is God who gives us the ability to create wealth. So if the enemy has planned or formed the weapon of poverty against us, then we understand and we have it in ourselves that God gives us the ability. I look at my life and say, what is it that I can do? Even if it's a small thing. But through that small beginning, of course, to not to despise the word, a humble beginning. Whatever it is that you can do with your hands, whichever part of the word, whichever the ability that God has given you, then make good use of it. Because through that, God is able to release the wealth and all that. Because the thought He will bless the work of our what? Hands. If there is nothing we have done with our hands, if you have good brains, if nothing you have done with your brain, what will God bless? We are told He will bless the work of our hands. But if there is no work, so what is God going to bless? So as Christians, it doesn't mean that it has to be big. Business opportunity you have, and that's how over 100,000 is when I begin. As a couple is when I begin. No, begin the simplest way you can. And through your determination and faithfulness in that small beginning, trusting God that He is the author and everything, or even that whatever it is that you're beginning, then God is going to bless that work of your hand. Are we together? So there is no weapon of poverty that the enemy can fashion against you to prosper, unless you don't understand the hidden treasure. That's the word of God we are talking about. That is in your life. Are we together to that point? So there is no weapon, even the things of the witchcraft and all that stuff. In the book of Leviticus, let's go to Leviticus chapter 20 verse 2. Leviticus just before Deuteronomy, and then you get into Numbers, and then before Numbers we get to Leviticus, the third book after Exodus. So in the book of Leviticus, someone will read for us, someone who was not there. Leviticus chapter 20 verse 2. please.
Say to the people of Israel, and one of the people of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who gives any of his children.
Oh, sorry. So 27, please. 27. 20, verse 27, sorry.
And it says,
Mhm.
a man or a woman who is medium or a necromancer shall surely be put to death. They shall be stoned with stones, their blood shall be upon them.
Yes, other versions say, do not permit a sorcerer to live. Sini kweli, that they should not be permitted to live. So in this case, even those who are practicing witchcraft against us, that is a weapon they're using against us. And the Bible is saying in the Leviticus 20, verse 27, that a man or a woman who is medium or spiritist, and other versions put it differently, the sorcerer and all that, should not be permitted to live. As a Christian, when you understand, you cannot go, according to that Bible, we are told to stone them to death. According to the Israel, they were told to stone them to death. But with us, we cannot take a stone, because some around. You cannot take a stone and start stoning them. But you can use the word of God, which is a weapon. Jesus Christ in you. You can use it to stone them, not physically, but use the word of God, knowing it's a weapon that is sinning. Then we can control our life, not to allow them control our lives. So if they're using a weapon of witchcraft against us, we understand we have a better weapon, the word of God, that we can use against them, so that whatever they plan for us, we can divert it. We can divert whatever it is. We can divert it. We give them the position they can stand against us. So I want us to understand as Christians, I'm just glad because of the faces that are here before me. Because I believe you are the mature enough ones even to handle this, to understand this. So I want you to go deeper than wherever I'm going to reach. The point, the farthest I can go, I want us to take it, to the farthest end. You and Jesus, taking Jesus, the word of God in your life, then see what is it? What is it that I have not given all to Jesus? Any segment of your life that you have not allowed Jesus to control. What part of my life have I not allowed Jesus to control? We have different parts of our lives, like social life, spiritual life, all those types. So there are some parts of our lives that we have not allowed Jesus to access. So if I've not allowed Jesus to access any segment of my life, then I think Jesus is not around. He will not come by force and just force himself into that segment of my life before I allow him. So if I surrender all to him and say, Lord Jesus, I give it all to you. I surrender it all unto you. Be the word of God, and as it is the word of God in my life, everything you talked about and everything you're not talked about that concerns the word of God will come to be fulfilled. I just want us to understand, to take Jesus, the word of God, as he really needs to be taken. Such that some of the things that we go through, that Jesus is just looking at sometimes and saying that I wish so and so knew, that daughter, that son knew, that then they would not be going through such stuff. It's just because we have not taken Jesus to be the hidden treasure in us. We have not realized, we have not taken Jesus to be all that he needs to be in our lives. Many a times that we even go through shame, many shameful situations in our lives. People have even judged us, and people are branding us. This is so and so can only reach here. Yeah, shame. Sometimes you go through shame. Yeah, I just felt time this morning in the song you're saying here, the beautifier, who takes away the shame and all that stuff. He has taken away the shame, the pain, and all everything. I believe in your life there's some moments you go through such situation. And Jesus Christ being the beautifier, Jesus Christ being the one of God, if he is given all the access to our lives, then of course he will come and take away the shame and the pain and everything. What has to do it? Shame will go through, yes. But when you go through some shameful situation, yes, sometimes I'm one person who fears shame. One of the things I fear is shame. I'm sorry, it is not your shame. But then Jesus went through all the shame so that we are able to know not to go through some shame. If Jesus had not gone through shame, then all the shame, remember all that public humiliation he went through. If Jesus did not take that for you, for me, then we would be forced to go through it. So and sometimes I will just ask myself, if I feel shame like I feel today,